The year is 2042. An alien civilization from a parallel universe has invaded Earth and taking away all the planet's resources at the same time. The enemy's most deadly bioweapon, known as the Hunter, has wiped out most of humanity's armies while trying to destroy the very last power station on Earth. However, the humans are not willing to give up so easily, as the remaining soldiers are heading directly towards the solar panels to fight off the alien invaders. The main character, Chen, has a terrible feeling about this mission, but before he can gather his courage, the airplane is blown apart by the enemy cannons. This causes tremendous damage towards the vessel as they're dropping downwards in blinding speed, while the soldiers are being sucked outside one by one. The plane eventually crashes onto the ground and destroying the solar panels at the same time, while Chen was somehow able to survive the fall. Before the man can regain his breath, he's quickly pulled onto the battlefield by the sergeant, where all the soldiers are fighting against the enemy forces. Despite humanity's best efforts, the people are clearly no match for the aliens' weapons, as the soldiers are quickly killed like nothing but insects. Suddenly, a giant tentacle launches towards a human while killing the man horrifically and revealing the infamous alien hunters who are here to destroy everyone. The people shoot furiously towards the hideous creature, but the attacks are not very effective at all, while the enemy's weapon continues blowing everyone apart. The soldiers eventually decide to retreat into a shield wall and continue shooting towards the monster, but this only makes the alien even angrier. The creature rushes towards the humans and slamming against the people, while pounding all the soldiers furiously before blasting everyone into oblivion. This allows the monster to push the soldiers backwards as they continue killing the people without any mercy. Very soon, an alien hunter begins charging up tremendous amounts of energy into its weapon while releasing the plasma cannon onto the humans, which quickly wipes out the entire army. Chen eventually regains consciousness and sees that all his comrades are killed, while the massive creature is approaching the man to end his life. Luckily, the main character is saved by a commander from the other side, who refuses to give up the fight despite the heavy casualties, but Chen has a different mindset altogether. The man quickly decides to run away from the battlefield while all his friends are being killed horrifically by the enemy. Chen eventually makes it towards a vehicle and rushes inside before driving away from danger and deserting all his comrades at the same time. Ever since losing this major battle, humanity has been sent back towards the Dark Ages, where resources are even more scarce than ever before. The main character has become a scavenger as he tries to sell off anything that he can find so that he can somehow survive in this world. However, before Chen can make any trades, the people notice that a hunter has found their location, which forces them to hide immediately. The creature quickly makes it inside as it begins sniffing out any remaining survivors, while the main character is trying to secretly escape. Before the people can make it out, the monster notices the humans and immediately begins killing them by using its massive tentacles. This causes the people to rush out in fear, while the creature begins shooting at the humans and chasing them closely behind. Realizing that they can't outrun the enemy, Chen tries to fight back using all the weapons that he has, not realizing that he's being watched by a mysterious team from afar. The man eventually makes it into a building where a soldier points a grenade launcher towards him and yells for him to move aside before shooting furiously at the enemy. This gives the people a chance to run as they quickly make it outside, but the alien creature continues chasing them while blocking off the humans' continuous attacks. The survivors eventually lures the enemy through a building where they set up numerous bombs at the entrance and planning to trick the creature inside the blast radius. The people continue holding the alien back while the team escapes the area before setting off a huge explosion that blows up the entire building. This eventually allows the humans to make it out alive as the team introduces themselves towards the main character. It turns out that the group is led by a commander called Gao, alongside the explosive expert John and the Russian twins Andre and Elijah. However, the team leader quickly finds out that Chen was a deserter and is forced to put a collar onto the main character to stop him from running again. The man explains that they need Chen to guide them through the area, as they received a signal nearby from a high-ranking general who's built a secret base for the resistance. Gao tells the main character that this is the man's only chance for redemption, while giving Chen no other choice but to join the mission. Very soon, the people take off onto the roads, while eventually arriving into a nearby town as they try to replenish their supplies, but quickly realize that something is wrong. The group notices a bunch of bodies on the floor who were likely killed very recently and decides to venture inside very carefully. Suddenly, the team begins hearing a woman scream as a man is attacking a helpless female survivor. Luckily, he's quickly stopped by Elijah, who kicks the criminal right in the family jewels and paralyzing him right away. What they don't realize is that all this was only a trap, as the entire place has been taken over by bandits who killed the previous survivors that lived here. The bandit leader tells Gao to give up everything that they have, including their female teammate, while the commander is forced to yield immediately. John sees this and takes the chance to activate his drone, which quickly begins firing towards the enemies and giving the soldiers a chance to fight back. The team is eventually able to kill many of the remaining bandits, while Chen tries to run away once again. This forces the soldiers to rush inside the building as they continue finishing off the enemies while hunting down the main character as well. Gao is eventually able to capture the runaway as he gives the men a final chance to surrender. However, Chen tries to call the commander's bluff and threatens to shut off the electric collar, but only ends up shocking himself into unconsciousness. Before Gao can retrieve the man, he quickly notices a mysterious figure pointing a gun towards him, but luckily the person is not his enemy. The woman quickly reveals her name as Doji, who's also here to find the secret base. The people immediately head out once again, while Doji explains that her team has developed a weapon against the aliens, and they have to get the research towards the base right away. The group eventually arrives into a desert where they are forced to stop before a bridge as an alien hunter is blocking their only way to cross the field. With no other choice, the commander is forced to conjure up a plan as they decide to use Chen as a bait to lure the creature away. The main character is forced to sneak towards the alien monster while all the other soldiers prepare to fire at any time. Very soon, the man is able to close in as he uses the broken cars as coverage and barely slipping by the monstrous creature while keeping himself alive. Chen eventually manages to make it towards a semi-truck and quickly rushes inside. However, instead of sounding the horn to lure the alien towards himself, he decides to boost up the vehicle against the commander's plan. This allows the monster to eventually find the other soldiers, enforcing the people to shoot immediately towards the alien, but the human weapons are not effective against the creature. The enemy quickly charges up its cannons and begins bombarding the soldiers across the battlefield while forcing the humans to hide right away. Chen sees that his comrades are completely outmatched by the aliens' weapons and decides to drive the truck while using it to ram into the monster. The vehicle pushes the creature onto a post and trapping it temporarily, while Doji quickly gives the commander an experimental weapon that she claims will work against the enemy. Gao takes the plasma grenade and rushes towards the truck, but the enemy sees this and fires directly towards the men while knocking away the weapon. John takes the chance and throws a grenade towards the vehicle, which causes a huge explosion as a result, but the alien is completely unharmed due to its incredible shields. Chen sees the plasma grenade and rushes over to grab onto the weapon while charging directly towards the alien creature. The man eventually jumps into the air and throws the grenade onto the monster just in time, which quickly paralyzes the alien as a result. Gao sees this and fires a bazooka towards a cargo train, which drops onto the alien and killing the enemy as well. After the battle is finally over, Doji explains to her team that the plasma grenade is made from the alien's technology, which is able to shut down the creature's protective shields. However, she only had one prototype with her, which means that they have to get to the secret base before encountering any more enemies. The people continue their journey across the wastelands as they venture closer towards the origins of the military signal. The humans eventually make it onto a large cliff where they see a giant entrance hiding beneath the mountains. The team quickly goes towards the secret base as they arrive in front of a giant door, and Doji is able to unlock the entrance by entering the military code. Very soon, the massive gates begin to move and revealing a giant tunnel up ahead as the people quickly maneuver inside towards the secret building. The humans eventually make it into the structure as they carefully venture deeper into the base, but soon notices that something is very wrong as not a single human humans seems to be around. The people are quickly able to find a secondary entrance and manages to open up the doors, but is shocked to see that their general is being trapped inside an alien device. The soldiers quickly realize that the signals must be a trap as the alien hunters begin jumping out to ambush the people. The humans are pushed backwards by the alien creatures as they try to hold the enemies back, but are quickly overwhelmed by the approaching monsters. The soldiers are eventually able to escape into a room as they shut off the doors immediately to keep the enemies out, but soon realizes that they're stuck inside with nowhere to run. Luckily, Chen is able to conjure up a plan as he finds a wall that leads to the outside and plans to use the dynamite to make an exit. Zhang immediately begins setting up the bombs, but the aliens have also found their location and begins pounding the doors to get inside. The commander realizes that the gates will not hold and decides to climb out from the vents while eventually appearing behind the enemies to lure the creatures away. This gives the others enough time to blow up the walls while the humans quickly exit from the tunnel and eventually escaping to the outside. The soldiers get onto the truck immediately and quickly drives away from the area, but soon sees that their commander is still alive and running desperately away from the aliens. Gao is forced to sprint across the battlefield with all his might, while the enemies fire continuously towards the soldiers and blowing up everything in their path. Luckily, the commander eventually manages to get onto the vehicle, while the humans are able to shake off the alien creatures in the last moments. However, Gao quickly realizes that John has been wounded by the explosions, which eventually kills the man as a result. When the people finally makes it out from the area, they're able to bury their teammates while the soldiers mourn for their friend's death. Despite the terrible situation, the humans are not willing to give up so easily as they begin using the alien that they killed to extract the energy crystals from the creature. This allows Doji to construct a large plasma grenade that's a lot more powerful than the prototype that she had, as they plan on destroying the secret base to stop the false signals. The people eventually make it back towards the building as they secretly head into the structure by using the air ducts, and Gao quickly realizes that the base is filled by alien hunters. The commander tells the Russian twins to prepare the missiles as they fire all the ammunitions towards the building and causing huge explosions as a result. This causes all the alien creatures to rush out towards the vehicle while they use the drone to transport the plasma grenade towards the hordes of enemies. However, the aliens eventually shoot down the plane, which ends up dropping the grenade as well. This gives the twins no other choice but to get out from the vehicle as they plan to attack the enemies head-on while refusing to go down without giving a fight. At the same time, the others are able to make it into the control room once again as they plan to shut off the signal, but quickly sees that the alien hunter is waiting to ambush them. This forces the people to shoot immediately at the monster while the commander begins luring the enemy away alongside the main character and tricking the creature to exit the room. Doji takes the chance and begins shutting off the alien device as she uses the machines to warn the humans that the signal is nothing but a trap. On the other side, Chen continues evading the alien alongside Gao, but the commander realizes that they can't run forever. The man quickly locks the main character behind the doors as he plans to sacrifice himself to buy the young soldier some time to escape. The commander puts the bomb onto his chest while the enemy eventually breaks into the room and causing Gao to shoot furiously towards the monster. However, the alien manages to stab the man right through the stomach and pinning him onto the wall, which eventually triggers the bomb and blowing up everything as a result. Chen quickly runs towards his teammate and is able to make it out alongside the woman, but soon notices that the plasma grenade did not go off. Doji sees this and quickly goes to distract the alien by shooting furiously at the creature, but is only blown away by the enemy's cannon instead. This gives the main character a chance to grab onto the bomb as he begins to lure all the monsters directly towards him. The man sprints furiously at the aliens while barely evading the creature's attacks, but before Chen is able to recover, he quickly sees that he's completely surrounded by the enemies. This gives him no other choice but to activate the plasma weapon while tossing it into the air, which generates a massive shockwave that completely fries all the aliens at the same time. The bomb is able to destroy the surrounding enemies despite their shields, and eventually allowing Chen to regroup together with his friend below the sunset. Before the people can celebrate their victory, they quickly notice the giant spaceship moving their way. However, the Allied forces have come to fight the aliens as well, as they march towards the battlefield like the Avengers scavengers and making the people realize that the war is far from over. So what do you guys think about this movie? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like my videos, please press like and subscribe for more. I'll see you guys next time.